Hi, this is Greg Hall again with Apple Computer, and I wanted to talk real quickly about backup. I went down to Walmart here in New Bern, and I found this Seagate 1 terabyte drive. It's very small, as you can see, and I guess the important point is that for less than $60, you can get a backup system for your computer and use it immediately. Let me show you how. When you first plug in the device, you're going to get a little bit of a message showing up on your screen. I've just plugged in the hard drive, and the first thing that the Macintosh does is it wakes up and it says, hey, do you want to use the Seagate Plus 1 terabyte drive to back up with Time Machine? You do want to do this. So let's click on the Use as Backup Drive. And what that does is it opens up a window in your system preferences called Time Machine. Here's what's going on. It's asking you, would you like to use this one? This must be used because it needs to be in an incompatible file system. So there's the problem right there, is this one. So go ahead and erase it. There's nothing on it. Remember, you just bought it. So go ahead and erase it. It needs to be in what is called the HFS format. Possibility that the system will fail to format. That's all right. It's almost expected. Let me show you what would happen. So what I want you to do is unplug your external hard drive. When you plug it back in again, now you're going to get a different message. So I've unplugged it. I'm replugging it back in. And now what I should get is this message. It's okay. It's okay. What we're going to do is we're going to initialize it. When you click on the initialize, it's opening up a program called Disk Utility. This is built into the Macintosh and is part of the operating system. You want to make sure that you're formatting the right drive. This is your built-in drive. You want to go to the external drive. Click on the external drive. And then over here, what you want to do is you want to click on Erase. So right up here, click on the Erase drive. And what you want to do is you want to pick the, we're going to call it Backup. So give it a nice, memorable name. And what we would like to have is the GUID partition map. So again, what we're doing is we're changing this to a GUID, the macOS Extended. So if you do those two things, give it a name, make sure it's extended, make sure that this pop-up is changed to GUID partition map, and then when you hit erase, it'll come back and it'll say, I'm formatting it, give me a second, and you will end up with a hard disk drive that's ready to go. It comes back to the same message. Do you want to use your backup drive? Yes, we do. And now it's ready to start the backup options. Let me take just a second and stop the other program. It says I'm done, I formatted it, and we can quit out of this program. Now we're back over here. Under this is Time Machine. This is one of the systems built into your Macintosh to do backups. It says that it's automatically going to back up, and in this case, there is no backups yet. It's going to start in 88 seconds. You can say backup now. When you have this system running, you're going to be able to back up automatically and have everything saved in here. If you wanted to, you could show the Time Machine in the menu bar. Let me do that. And what that's going to do is it's going to give you this icon up here. See this icon right there? This icon, you could say backup now, or enter Time Machine, or open Time Machine preferences. We're just going to say backup now, and then I'm going to pause the video, fast forward a little bit, and show you what you get with that. So let's start that process right now. Backup now. It does take a little bit of time. As you can see, we just started this. It's taking 4 hours. Don't worry, I won't make you wait 4 hours, but I just wanted to show you that it actually is working. Well, we're still backing up. The timeline has gotten a little bit longer. It's only 12 hours, and I've only backed up 68 gigs, but I wanted to give you an idea of what it looks like as it's running. So let me go up here now to the time machine system, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit enter the time machine, and look what it looks like. What it does is it takes your most recently opened Finder window and then gives you iterations of what that looks like. Now, right now, let me scroll down to the lower right-hand corner. What we're looking at is I've only got an 844, a 944, and then this is close to 1044. It's doing backups by the hour for the first hour, and then it does one backup every day for the next 30 days. In other words, it keeps the best backup of Tuesday, then of Monday, then of Sunday, etc., going back for 30 days. After 30 days, it does the best backup or the best representation by weeks, one backup per week, and that's where you get all these scales on the side. But it will keep track of your information for a year. So I've got a terabyte drive, and I'm using right now 408 or 600 something gigabytes. So I've got a lot of iterations. But let me show you how this works real fast. So I've got some files over here, and you see that it says working with multiple applications. It's a video that I made recently. If I go back in here, you'll notice that I don't see the making a backup. It wasn't there at 8:44 p.m. So if I come back to today, right now, I have this multiple applications video that is working there. So as you add files, or let's say that you delete one, you can go back to what your computer looked like 3 days ago or 30 days ago, and it will have the files in the places that you think that they should have been. So you can go back in time and look for a file. If you find a file that you want, you can hit the restore button. If you hit the restore button, it'll come up with a simple question. You want to keep the same one? Replace it, keep both of them. So let's just hit one of these restores. It moves it over here to the front. And in this case, we're bringing it back over here. Give me a little bit of time things in here, and it's making another copy of that. An item is already there. What do you want to do? You want to keep the original? You want to keep both or replace? So again, the system is trying to keep track of what you want to do. And if you don't want to do any of that because you made a mistake, yeah, you just close it. Off you go. So that's the idea of Time Machine. Make sure you go get a hard drive, format it, turn on Time Machine, wait patiently, and then my suggestion, one last suggestion, do a wire tie so that every time you sit down with this one and you plug in your computer, you've got your hard drive plugged in right next to it. Plugs into the USB most often. Plug it into the USB, plug in your power. When those two things are running at home, leave it at home, you're getting a backup. Let it run all night. It's very quick, does backups whenever you're plugged in. And just to put in one more plug, you can have more than one hard disk drive backing up. So you might have one that you keep at work, one that you keep at home. You can do this one. But you know, plugging in and unplugging all of those hard drives, that might just be way too much work. So here's a blatant plug for a wireless solution. This is Apple's Airport Time Capsule. They make it in a 2 terabyte, a 3 terabyte, and they also have some refurbished ones for a little bit less than this $299 price. The point here is that this is actually a wireless access point. You would plug this into your cable modem or whatever you have at home, DSL, and it gives you very high speed 802.11 AC. It has a wireless hard disk drive. You connect to it over the Macintosh, and as you're browsing on the internet, it's also backing up all of your files. So something to keep in mind. There's other ways to do this one, but Apple does have a solution. It's called the Airport Time Capsule. Hopefully this has all been useful information for you. You guys take care.